Hi there, just me. Here I am. Sorry, it's really up close, but I wanted you to have something pretty to look at. I was editing this video, and I'm not sure how to put in a pop-up box yet. I might just learn how, but in the meantime, I wanted to pop in here before we get started. I think my microphone is acting up a bit. It seems like the video that you're going to watch coming up has these little crackly sounds in it. I don't think they're bad enough to chuck the whole video, and you would miss out on seeing what I'm doing in it. So I just thought I'd give fair warning, and if it's going to drive you out of your mind, just maybe skip today's episode. But just fair warning, there is a little tiny bit of a crackly sound. And then at the end, you'll hear that our neighbors started doing woodwork in the backyard, and that can be heard too. So, a really professional video here today. So, here, I'll back up. I'm going to be talking about this today. All right, let's get started. Thanks for joining me. Hi there. Welcome back. I'm working on the ladies again. In fact, I'm working on Mona. So we'll see how much we can get done. Oh, let me put my timer on. There we go. All right. Mona's guts here. The last time we were together with Mona, we put this old metal. It obviously must have been some kind of a cover for a door lock mechanism. That sure looks like a keyhole to me for a strange kind of key, like a two-sided key, the bumps on two sides. We'll never know. Well, I'm sure someone knows. I shouldn't say that. I'll never know. There, that's better. I did opt, I can't remember whether I followed up with you or not. There was one hole that did not have a brad because I used the original brads that were still in this metal thing. I put them back in and used those to hold this big piece. I didn't trust glue, first of all, because it's hollow backed. These sides curve, so it's actually a little bit raised. You can tell by how this fits here. So I definitely would not trust glue to hold it because the glue would only be able to adhere to that little edge. So what I did was used the 3 original brads that were still attached to this plate, and then I used another little tiny brad. Let's get that paper off there so that I can show you. Come on up, paper. Oh yeah, you want to be as long as possible, don't you? Let me stand up. So that is the little arms from the little brad right here. What I did was I aged it to match the rest of these brads. I think I did a good job. I covered it. It was oiled brass color. It was a little brad, a mini brad in what's called oil bronze. Oil bronze. And so what I did was, this still has sort of a goldish tint to it. And certainly when I was hammering it with the hammer, it even made the gold more evident on it. So what I did was I just simply rubbed a little gilding wax onto this oiled brass brad. Thank goodness it was an approximate size. So I think I did a good job camouflaging that, and so it added the extra stability for that corner. It looks nice. So that's what I did. Now here's my challenge for Mona's cover. Is these are really stick out. They're so old. The metal was so strong. That was as flat as I could get them. I may try and flatten that one side. I think this one side is displaced cardstock, so I may try, yeah. The brad tried to go to the inside of the cover, and that's okay because it's still holding the that metal plate in place, so I'm okay with that. I just wanted it a little bit smoother. So here's my dilemma, and I don't mind dilemmas. Is these are going to stick through the end papers. For the end papers, I recently went over to TaylorMade Journal's Etsy shop. Lorna Taylor has lots of really nice digitals in her Etsy shop. She's a fellow Canadian. Hi, Lorna. And so I purchased and printed a couple of her digital prints of an end papers file that she has. I guess what she did was old books that are after the copyrights expired, so she's created scans of old book end papers, and I love these. So these are going to be Mona's, and so I've glued them onto cardstock just to make them a little bit stronger. I'm going to use that, and hopefully that will be all I need to camouflage these bumps. If it doesn't, I will, I'll put some kind of a pocket right here. Maybe lace. We'll see. Anyhow, before I can even get to that, oh, and I have plans for, I got these ages ago in a thrift bag, you know, grab bags that they make like at our Value Villages. When they have a whole bunch of things, they'll put them into a bag, put a price tag, and you have to buy the whole bag. And I did that once. These were in one of those, I seem to recall. And I put them aside because I thought maybe I could use them someday, but I didn't have a setter for this size. I've got a crocodile for the two different eyelet sizes that I use. I didn't have anything to set these, but you know, I was hopeful, and sure enough, I have one. I got one. It's just from a hardware store, so hopefully it'll work, fingers crossed. My plan is I want to do, in the spirit of Two Silver Oranges, Jessica Rapp, one of her signature things that she loves to do is she likes to put a large eyelet right here and then hang a really cool charm kind of thing from it on the front. And I know I mentioned this before, I'm just catching everyone up to speed. That's my goal, but that would need to be done after I put the end papers in. And the end papers have to be done after I put the text block in. Hence what we're going to do this morning. Boy, long way around everything. So, here's her text block. It's looking lovely. I see a little bit of, where'd my eraser go? There it is. I see a little bit of 3-in-1. And if you are patient and don't rub 3-in-1, if you happen to put it somewhere you didn't want it to be, you can roll it off again. There we go. With an eraser. Come on, off you go. There you go. All right, so keep that in mind. It's very tempting to smear it and go, oh no, and then you'll smear that shiny everywhere. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim the wings here. I don't know what the official term is. I call them wings. But I have to be careful. I can't lean down on this because I already have some tabs that are attached because I wanted to be able to sew them. So I'm just going to use this basically just to keep it upright so that I can play with this. So what I want to do is I need to trim these ends. Let me get some scissors. I really only need about 1/2 inch. I'm going to turn them back. So I really only need about 1/2 inch. I think I just trimmed one of my beloved black thread, dangly threads. I did. Thank goodness there's more than enough. All right, so because what I like to do is I like to flip over here so that you have a nice finished edge here. I know Nick the Booksmith, she just trims it off, and that's fine too. You can do that, especially if you're going to put a lace header and footer on your text block. Probably really doesn't matter, but I do it anyways. But one thing I don't do is I don't flip it over the whole length. I want those hinges to be as floppy as possible. So here's what I do. Here's the footer. So I go in at a slight angle right there, and I'm going to get my little sharp scissors. So here we go. Sorry, that was out of sight. Fortunately, we got 3 more to do. So this is where the text block is. See, hopefully you can tell. So I go in just at a hint of an angle, because again, I don't want to bulk up the hinges. And then I'm going to do that on this end. So you can see that's where the text block is. And then I'm going to do it again over here. Doesn't need to be precise, because you're just going to fold it over. Now here's something else I do. I'm trying to remember who taught me this. I know she had a lovely accent, and I'm thinking it might have been Shabby Dabby Doodah, Tina over there. Yes, you can just trim right along here. I go in a little bit, and again, I learned this from someone else, if it was you, but I know the video I first saw it done on, the channel host had a beautiful British accent. I remember hearing it. I really enjoy, and going off on a tangent here, are you shocked? I enjoy when channel hosts have a really cool accent. I'm Canadian. Our accent is mostly just, so how you doing, eh? And it sort of varies from there depending on which coast or in the middle you're from. But we usually recognize each other. Oh, so you're from Nova Scotia, eh? That sort of thing. Our Newfoundland accent sounds very Irish. Very, very, and they're, that makes sense. Huge, huge Irish community. Back in the days of cod fishing from England. So I'm really off on a tangent now, aren't I? So I do that. So let me turn it sideways so you can see. So now we have these little wings trimmed. Sometimes, depending on the size of my end papers, I will take them in quite extreme, because they're really not that necessary. We really only need a little bit in order to suspend this text block. And in fact, some bookmakers don't even do these wings. They simply use bands of cotton. Some of them just use like a mull, or like a kind of a linen gauze. It varies. This is what I do. So there we go. Those are they're ready. So I'm going to glue these over. I glued this paper. This is one of the pages out of the text block, in case I didn't mention that. And I glued it down with 3-in-1. because there's fabric there. So now I'm just going to pat that in place and do the same thing over here. So I have to do this 3 more times. Oh my. If you want, you can use a little tool to smooth it out. But as you saw over there, you don't have to. You just need to be able to grab it. Of course, there's the black thread that I cut off. Oh no, that's black thread that's still attached. Oh my goodness. Always challenges. So there we go. So that's nice. Now, if you... I'm looking for something over here. If you like me and you sign your text blocks, now's the time to do it. So... And then I put the year. There we go. I didn't lean on that because remember, our little tabs are here and we want them nice. So this paper on here, sometimes I don't even do that. It's mostly just to give a little bit of support to the fabric so it can do its job. But sometimes I wish I knew how I decide. I'm going to have to think about it. It could be if it's one of those times where I wasn't really careful in my measuring and I have a really tight fit for my putting my text block into the cover. Or it could also be perhaps the cover itself is already really stiff and I don't want to make it even more stiff by bulking in even just this layer of paper. So, but this one, lovely. I only gave a little support to those hinges using cheesecloth, cotton cheesecloth, and I glued it down with PVR. So that's what we did there. So there we go. Those are ready. Let's see. Now would be the time if you want to put in a permanent bookmark with a long ribbon, which I want to do. Would also be the time to put your little bit of lace at the top. Just to be safe, I always double checking myself and questioning myself. I'm going to just see here, it's no fit, but I know it goes in. Checked several times. There we go, it's in. In and in. And there it is. So, hold on. No, you're not. Let's see. There you go. That's better. Just using a... There. All right, so it's tucked into its new little home there and there. I'm not gluing it yet because I do want to put lace header and footer, and I do want to put a ribbon bookmark. So I'm going to pause and I'm going to go find them. Okay, hold on. I have to unpause my timer. So these 4 dictionaries are all navy blue, in case my camera's not picking it up. So, and I really think that this ribbon is quite a good match, and I really just like the elegance, the simple elegance. It lets everything else shine. So I'm going to put in, oh, let me pop this out. I'm going to put in navy blue ribbons on all 4 ladies. So sometimes for a really elegant book, I would take the time to go in my other room and iron this. You know what? I was thinking that I would just leave it as is, but it really is quite, that's quite pronounced. I am going to go iron it. Hold on. Okay. Nicer. So, when I put in a ribbon bookmark, I usually like it to be able to hang out quite a bit at the bottom for ease of finding it, and because it's pretty, which is a reason why most of us do what we do. Is it pretty? Is it dramatic? Yes, it is. Let's do it. So I'm gonna, you know what, that'll work. Let's see, I might as well get 2 done while I'm, oh, for that much. You know what, I'm just gonna cut it in half for the sake of that. I've still got more, don't worry. Let's just do it. I like an angle on the bookmark, but sometimes I also like a dovetail on other things. Bookmark, I like an angle. And usually, I'm not going to do it yet, but usually I don't want this to look brand new and the rest of the book to look grungy. So usually later on, I'll take like a little pin and I'll fray that out so that it looks a little more old and used. Where'd my little thing go? There we go. There's the top. I can tell because I've still got my little post-it notes. And so we're going to just put this in. I'm going to put lace on. I put the bookmark down first because it's going to curl over and get tucked into the text block. I know in the past I have forgotten the order, and it really doesn't matter that much. But if you can remember, I think it works better to put especially this thick, it works better to put it down first and then put your lace on top. There we go. Now the lace I want to use, I want to do something that I've done before. And that is to actually put the raggedy cut side up. So this is just one piece and I want the top and the bottom to match, so I'm going to make fresh. This stuff, although I got this one at my, let's move you, you can dry over there. It's just a cotton lace. I don't even think it's old. I've actually seen these at, here in Canada, Dollarama. So I don't think it's old. I think I know you can get it at Dollarama. So let's see how wide I need this. I like it, let me show you. I like it just barely the width of the text block because this is heavy. I don't want it in these hinges again. I don't want the hinges blocked or made to not be that nice floppy that I love. There we go. And then what I do is you get more bang for your buck. I cut it in half. And then I usually decide, I don't want this pretty edge. I want it ratty looking. So I'm just going to take that off because it's only going to bulk it up and it's not necessary. So I'm going to take that off. This one too. Did I take them both off? I did. Okay, so I've got those two. And then I get something pointy and I choose a side and I make it look ratty. So I just pull at it with something sharp. And I just keep pulling at it. And you'll have some threads maybe come loose and completely fall off. That's okay. Adds to the character. I really love this look for junk journals that you want a really purposeful, grungy look. Again, I'm just going to look and decide which side I want to attempt my ratty technique on. Now is that? Yeah, that is. Okay, that's all right. That's okay. Pardon me. All right, there we now we're happy. All right, so they're really nice and ratty looking. So let's go ahead, put them on. It's fabric on fabric, so I'm going to use 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac for me. You use your favorite. You use your favorite glue. I always, you're going to laugh, I do always have one that I like better than the other. Even with something this ratty and ugly, I always have, oh, there, that one's good. I always have a favorite, so I look them over. This one's my favorite, and I always put my favorite one at the top. I just do. It's just me. So again, I'm not pushing down because of those tabs. There we go. And we'll do this one. If you hear a strange, not sure how it would come across, like a buzzing noise or something, our neighbors are doing some woodwork in their backyard, and that's their saw. I think I'm going to need to trim this side. It looks a little wide. I like those long ones. I'm just going to trim this part. There we go. And I'm going to do likewise over here. There we go. Give that a pat. And I'm going to take a look at these ones and see. Yep, I want those trimmed a bit. Don't mess up my hinges. Lace. There we go. Now would be the time, if this still wasn't grungy enough for you, you could lay some more just loose laces on that, make sure it's glued down, and it will never be evident from the top. See how that looks? I love it. I love that it just completely looks like a mess. Now, talking about messes. Okay. All right, let's see again about this. Oh, hold on. I hear my door. I'm hoping it's Amazon. Okay, it wasn't Amazon. It was an off-leash dog triggering. We got one of those Ring camera doorbells. Off-leash dog wandering around our front lawn. But it also, my my drugstore phone and my prescription's ready. So I'll talk you through it. It's in. I love it. I think that looks really great. I hope that's showing up. So it's in. It's not glued in yet. So I'm just going to tell you what I do. So it's in place. I'll flip this back, glue it down, let it dry, and then I'll do likewise on this side. Flip it back, glue it down, let it dry, and then what I will do is, then I will trim the end papers to the right size. I'll ink around the edge, because you know me. And then hopefully little Miss Mona is ready for some details that we can now start working on. You know, pockets. If I'm going to do some pockets, might do a couple. I'll decide if the front end paper needs a pocket to camouflage any kind of bumps from the brads. So you know what? I'm going to let you go here. And thanks for joining me. I hope maybe some of this was helpful to you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we'll get together soon. Take care. Bye.